Tucson. My name is Sophie. You are listening to Yum live in Studio 2A. You guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for bringing us.
It's awesome to have this kind of energy in the studio on a Monday night. Not that we haven't had wonderful guests, but this is like, you guys are like a comet from outer space. It's intense in here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's do introductions. And because it's a thing and we're going to get it out of the way, how old are you guys?
Okay. All right. So I am Rylan Dodge. I play bass, and I am 19 years old.
I'm Ari Detman. I play guitar, and I'm 18 years old.
I'm Maya Rizk. I play drums, and I'm 21 years old.
Heck yeah. So you and I'm asking you this first because I misspoke. My brain sabotaged me, and I said folk, which is like the only influence that you don't list. We have rock, funk, punk, and I think you say it's funk, punk, power trio, and then disco and dance. Mm-hmm. So where do all of these influences come from? Like, you've gathered them all together, and then how do you glue them together in these songs that you've brought?
I mean, kind of coming up from inspiration from other bands. For me, without thinking, Primus, Rush, and Vulfpeck are like my holy trinity of this realm of funk and rock, and then just meshing all things that shouldn't, but then it just works so well.
Yeah. I think that we had influences from like groove metal groups like Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that, and I think it just really kind of appealed to us to be able to like headbang and rock out to music like we want to, but also just getting those danceable grooves, like kind of paying homage to classic funk grooves, like with Maya's drumming. She does a great job at it. And yeah,
Thank you.
I would say that if you fuse those things, you get a really interesting combination of heavy and also danceable. So you're not just headbanging, you're also dancing.
Did this evolve over time? Like, did you start out as like, we're gonna be punk, and then start adding things, or did you start with this mishmash?
We did not have any kind of a definition when we first started. I met Ryland in high school, so he and I would just jam at lunch because he was the only bass player that I knew that could actually play bass, and I was like one of the only drummers that he knew that he
Could drum.
That could drum. So we just ended up hanging out, and then he said, "I know a guitar player. We should all go to my house and play."
That was at Steel Drum Boot Camp.
That was Steel Drum Boot
Yeah.
Camp. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, like, cause for I don't know, maybe like a month or two, back in like 2016, somewhere halfway in the year, Ari and I were we would get together and we would, jam on some stuff, record some stuff, and it would sound good, but it was missing an element. It was missing percussion. It can only go so heavy. Mm-hmm. And then through the elements of both relationships, and we met all together.
I'd say when we started, it was more like kind of traditional kind of rock.
Yeah.
And then it slowly got funkier
Funkier.
as we
because
realized.
we started like showing each other like Funkadelic and Wolfpack and like Fishbone and like just melding all this stuff, because like we all just had completely different backgrounds in music. Like I was trained in jazz, but my true passion is really rock and punk and anything that's kind of louder, like Latin even. Like I like other stuff, so I came from this very technical, precise school where if it's not exactly right, then it's wrong, if you know what I'm saying. So I was very into playing heavy.
Yeah, real quick,
Yeah.
what was your journey breaking out of that? What
Oh,
was that like?
girl, I just did it. I just did it. You just got to get out of there sometimes. You just got to get out there, do your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, then figure out what the right thing is for you and do that instead.
Yeah.
Do that
And
instead.
lots of it.
Lots of it. Do
Yeah.
only that. Pick a thing that you like and do that thing.
So you guys all seem pretty cool.
Well, wow.
But I
thank
do,
you.
I'm trying to bridge this gap here. So high school is hard. It wasn't that long ago that you were in high school hanging out, making music at lunch. Did you find that music helped you through what could have been hard in high school?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I would come to rehearsal. I mean, I just graduated last summer.
Like weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, a couple
five.
months ago.
Heck yeah.
Please.
High five. And yeah, I would be having a bad day or something. I would be stressed out, but then I would look forward to Yum rehearsal, and I would go over and I could just vomit my words at them, and they would take it and be like, "All right, cool, let's play music."
put
And I
it
think
on the
that it's
internet.
really kind of cathartic to just
Yeah.
be able to blast loud amps and loud drums at each other,
Yeah, man.
and really, it's just pure de-stressing, I think.
Definitely therapeutic. I would agree. Like, definitely in that time when, before graduating, it was a good stress reliever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you actually get something out of it. You create something fun that we all enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't a question so much as an observation, but a lot of the under 21, I know you're 21, but the folks who are in the studio who are, just out of high school or heading to college have lives that are so much crazier than anyone else who comes down here. Like there's swim practice and then
Yeah.
music practice. It's just insane. So congratulations to all of you for making
Seriously,
it
you
through
guys.
that.
Well, thank
You guys
you.
are amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about songwriting real quick because we've talked about your influences. How does a song start for Yum?
I want to say it's typically a bass line from Ryland.
Yeah.
Or a drum groove from
Rhythm.
Maya. And then I just try to figure out
Come on,
stuff.
you came in with some good
No,
ideas.
You wrote the first song we ever did.
Freaking
You wrote
Saturday Slam. I
You
mean,
literally
come
wrote
on.
that song.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think it's honestly
Fine.
one of us will pick something and we'll try it, and then the other two will just be like, okay, and we'll like try and fit it together. And a lot of times, if we just have little sections that we've been working on, we'll try and like
Connect them together.
connect them. We'll figure out stuff like, oh, we had this idea from like 2 years ago.
Mesh
What if
it
it
in.
works here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we try it,
And then when it works, we
when
all
it
like,
works,
scream.
we put it on the album. Yeah, yes!
So good when it
It's
happens.
yeah, it's like just it all works.
And so how much of that process is technical versus instinctual? Like, is there just like tons of jamming, or is there like, we're going to play in C major?
It goes kind of both ways. I mean, together it starts as a jam typically.
Yeah.
But if someone has an idea or something they want to develop, like personally for myself speaking, I'll go home and I'll work on something and I'll develop it and try and make it as musically as possible, and then propose it to the band. We jam on it, and then we develop on it together.
Yeah. I'd say that a lot of the hard work isn't necessarily when we're together, but it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
just getting it
really
tight.
Specific parts,
internalizing it,
runs, stuff like that is all at home. And really, the best part is that means that when we do meet up together, we can just play through the songs, write new songs, or just jam. And it's a lot of
because
fun.
pretty much as soon as we come together after we've been, because we'll like email each other demos of what we're doing, and so that we stay in contact. Because it's exactly like you said, they just came out of high school, so their lives are literally 10 times busier than anybody's. And
so weird.
Yeah, so we'll meet once a week, if that. And when we don't meet, we send each other demos of what we're doing, so that when we get in the room together, all these ideas start bouncing around and everything sort of just comes together. So we're like, oh my God, what if we do this and that and this and that? And then it just starts becoming a really awesome creative process of just working together. We're kind of a ship at sea at that point. Like we're just sort of trying to make sure that everything runs through, but not just smoothly, so that it actually sounds good to us, because we make our music. I don't know if I'm speaking for you guys, but I like to listen to our music. Like, I made it
that's
for
the
me.
whole, I mean, that's kind of the whole point. I mean, if your band is not one of your favorite bands,
there's a problem.
you're doing something wrong. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun.
Yeah. The joy definitely comes through. Taking a step back in the process, you all seem really connected to the instrument that you're playing. How do you hone individually, and you can answer this individually, how do you hone that so that you have a specific style? Not necessarily like how many scales do you play, but how are you developing your style with the bass, the drums, lead guitar?
Okay, I guess I'll start, but I kind of develop my guitar playing based on the tones that I do have in my guitar amp, or how my guitar is going to sound. So if I find a cool sound, per se, like that or something like that, I'm like, oh, okay, that I want to do some like fast, upbeat, funky, like fast chunking stuff. And I found that when we were making that song, the second song that we played there, Sourdough, I really enjoy doing those fast kind of choppy stuff with my hands. And I figured out that I can kind of mimic old funk guitar while adding distortion, and really almost double the bass sometimes, and that's a good method. And you can create these super thick sounding just riffs that fit together super well with the bass. And so I kind of went for that kind of jangly, doubling the bass, fast kind of classic funk guitar style. And I think that kind of jangly sound is one of my favorite things. So
for me, honestly, it's just taking advice where I can, and just inspiration from previous bass players before me. Again, going for that holy trinity, Primus, Rush, and Vulfpeck all have fantastic bass players. Les Claypool, Geddy Lee, and Joe Dart. They are amazing people just to watch and analyze. You'll slow down a lick. You'll pick up some things. I mean, even going back, like Bernard Edwards, from The Chic, he was fantastic. Even guys locally. There's this bass player for this band, Tongs. They were in here. Freaking Chris Pierce.
Who is that?
Man, no. Watching him play and just listening to him, it's like,
he's a beast.
It's so musical, and it just glides around, and it's just to see that stuff live, and it's so inspiring, and just I like to watch it. I like to take notes, and like, I don't know, just watching other people do it and just kicking serious tail at it is where I kind of
soak it all in.
You just soak it all in, take notes, and see what internalizes in my hands, and then just practice the heck out of it.
Yep.
I mean, I've grown up in this industry, kind of. I'm a queer woman, so that has a significant effect on who listens to what I'm doing. So I've figured that the louder that I play, the more people hear it and the more people listen to what I'm saying, because it's significantly harder for me to gain respect until I start playing. Because I've been in like bars and clubs where I'll be walking around and people will be like bumping into me and like just, you know, treating me like I'm nothing. And then as soon as I get up on the drum set and I start playing, that changes a lot. So my style, I would say, is just, I really treat this throne like a throne. Like when I'm up here, there's no excuses. You know, I'm responsible for me and I'm making sure that I'm heard because it matters. Like all of my favorite drummers, except for like Karen Carpenter, Cindy Blackman Santana, and what's her name? Whatever, doesn't matter. I mean, most of them are men, you know? So when I play like them, people are like, wow, you sound like Mitch Mitchell, or wow, you sound like John Bonham. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much, but can I sound like Maya? Like, I want to meld a bunch of styles to make it sound like me, you know? I love when people tell me that I sound like Mitch Mitchell. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you so much, thank you, I know. But I want to sound like me, you know? I want people to say like, wow, she's so powerful. Wow, she's so precise and technical, because a lot of times when these guys are beating on these drums, they're not being technical about it at all. They're just beating on them. But I like to do it with some precision, because it's just like, that's the beauty of it, is being able to get the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
Well, let's hear what it all sounds like together. You got more music for us?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Let's do Balby, Peanut Butter, 80s Mike.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm down. I'll try not to hit this mic again.
I think it could swing around, yeah? Whoa, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
She's cursed. Okay.
She's cursed. All right.
Of your funky ways, a groove that will outlast our glory days. And I know what you're gonna say. Bound in my you taught me it. Confused by your words, I must admit. But I know what you're gonna say. Bound me, my again, man. Bow me by name. Bow me by name.
everyone's enjoying themselves, tuning in to KXCI. If you've just tuned in, we are Yum. Gonna take a quick second to introduce you to the band. To my left, on guitar, none other than Ari Detman. Now to my very far left, kicking in on the drums, Maya Risk. And I'm Rylan Dodge. I play bass and the other thing. All right, guys, let's kick it. 1, 2. Bobby Biden. Bobby Biden. Bobby Biden. Bobby Biden.
it back up. Keep kicking around intoxicated lads. Wanna wrestle, yeah, I'm wrestle, self-proclaimed champion. Yourself, you're pretty cool, man, but the people know. The people aren't impressed by your shenanigans. That then we wanna know, where are you? Hey, Mike. We want to know. Hi, so bunker, 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 bunker. Won't get it, drop jacket just to pick it back up. Yo man, where's the sound? One jacket just to pick that sand, kicking now. Brought it back, who's fun, and say, hey man, bring it on now, say. Wanna wrestle, yeah, I'm wrestle, self-proclaimed champion. Do yourself pretty cool, man. But the people know. The people aren't impressed by your shenanigans. Too bad, and we wanna know, where are you? Hey, Mike. We want to know. I so bunker, 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 bunker. The people aren't impressed by your shenanigans. Ari on guitar, laughing, you want to know, where are you? Hey, Spike. We want to know. Are we singing? Yeah.
This is KXCI Tucson. You are listening to Force of Nature, Yum, live in Studio 2A. And if you are not watching live on YouTube or Facebook, I highly recommend it. Go check it out. These guys are awesome. I mean, it's great to listen to.
Oh, we're having a blast here. I accidentally knocked over a mic. Oops.
Yeah.
I got it. It's all good.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we can grab. No, we good?
We're good. Thank you, Walter. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there's lots of nitty gritties to talk about. You guys came out with an album called Yum.
Yep,
It's a
self-titled.
full length.
Yep.
You didn't
And-
bother with the EP first.
Just wanted to go all the way in.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
enough tunes, so
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Cool. And you're working on another one.
Yes,
Just learned.
currently,
We sure
actually.
are.
Yeah,
Midtown Studios.
Yep.
Big shout out.
Heck
Matt
yeah.
is
He's awesome.
Matt
is
Rendon.
amazing.
MVP.
I
Yeah.
don't believe you. I've never heard anything good about Matt Rendon before. Just kidding. He's a legend. How is this album going to be different from the first one?
I mean, the whole process behind it. Well, I mean, we definitely. Well, let's think about it. Let's. You go.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I would say that the first album we didn't quite know what we were doing. I'd
That's a good
say-
way to put it.
Yeah, we showed up and it was just kind of a lot at once. But with this album, I think we've had time to really plan things out a bit more.
A better idea of what we want to do.
Yeah, get organized. We're going to add newer instruments and add more variety with the production and stuff like that. So,
I think a really, really big difference for us is that we have a clearer vision this time of what we want this album to look like and what we want to do with it, like the music videos and the art, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have, it's exactly like ours, said. We didn't exactly know what we were doing the first time. We just sort of hopped in there, we're like, let's just try it. Just turn the mic on, let's just get it done. But now it's like, you know, we're actually...
We want to give it more personality, this album, around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there a guiding concept for that? The whole deal?
It's just more bops.
More bops.
I mean, it's just more, yeah.
Every song is a little different in its own special way, and we just really want to make sure that we harness its specialty. It's what makes that song so groovy, what makes that song so awesome, and just really cramming it down and like figuring out how can we make this the coolest product ever.
I think it's even simpler than that, honestly. I think it's like when you level up. It's just like we're just more evolved now. Like, you get the second Pokemon, you level up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little better this time.
So what's the visual concept? Like, if you see the music videos ahead of time, you see the album artwork, what's it?
This is news to me, but
I am seeing primary colors. I'm seeing lots of paint.
Vibrancy.
Vibrance, yes, that's a good word.
And
look at Ari's shirt.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Another reason to tune in on YouTube.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel with lots of shenanigans.
Oh yeah. While we're talking about media, let's talk about your YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's the Yum Sessions, right?
Yeah,
the Yum Sessions and the Pepper Sessions.
There's a whole bunch of shenanigans on there. The Yum Sessions on those, they're just basically our rehearsal sessions, just condensed down into this cute little 3-minute package of the highlights. And what started as something for just for me to remember what the rehearsals were like, or what we did in them, turned into this is an aesthetic that I associate with Yum, and it makes me very happy to make these videos. And I only make them when I feel absolutely genuinely enjoying myself with the band, and just all compiled into this one happy video. And then there's multiple on there. I think we have about 20 videos on there now, with the sessions, the Pepper Sessions.
Can I talk about the Pepper Sessions, please?
Yeah, you got an elevator pitch the Pepper Sessions, bring it.
We each eat a very, very, very hot pepper, and then we jam and we build a song then on film.
Oh, so you all eat a very, very hot pepper.
So we started with a jalapeno, then we did a serrano, and then we did a habanero. Yeah. And you eat it. You put it in your mouth, you chew it and swallow it, except for me, because I threw up.
She threw up every time.
Twice. It was twice. I think the first one. I think the first one you stomached.
That is sacrifice. Artistic sacrifice.
But it's very interesting what it does to the jam.
Yeah.
It was because no one questioned anything. Everyone was just yes. That's fine.
Just trying to get it done.
Any idea that was thrown out, we're like, yes, that's fine. I just want this pain to end.
I think there's a part where you're like, can you do a Hendrix solo in the beginning? And Ari's like, yeah, sure, why not?
Start the song.
Start the song. Yeah.
Did any of the Pepper Sessions make it into what you bring to performance now?
Yes. Actually, a section in one of our new songs that we do.
Should we do it? Let's do it.
Yeah, we can do that song.
We can do that one.
Yeah.
Well, next.
Yeah, we'll make that one next one. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a section in the last one, Habanero, that we build into this one song, and it's such a cool little rhythm part.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And then you have a show at Solar Culture on the 5th.
Yep.
We sure do.
And
July 5th.
Anything else that's happening this summer as far as performance goes? Just want to get dates down.
Not really, not quite yet. I mean, there might be a house show here and there, but really just focusing on that album.
Yeah.
For updates on dates, you should follow us on Instagram at a band called Yum, because that will have all our future gigs posted there.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes.
Look for the Pineapple School.
5th, what can an audience member who has not tuned into YouTube and doesn't know what's going on expect from a live performance from Yum?
Oh, you want to?
Yes.
All right.
You should bring your dancing shoes, because you're going to want to dance, and it's very... I don't want to say it is neutral, because there's nothing that's too heavy or too funky or too disco. It's a very nice blend of it that I think is truly fun for anybody. Like, I've seen little kids come to our show and start bopping. Remember Second Saturday?
That was Second Saturday. We had
there
some
was
kids
this
in the front.
tiny little, like, 8-year-old boy that I just saw his head, like, moving up and down in front of the stage.
Yeah, I remember that was during Sourdough, the second time around. I gave him a high five.
Yeah, he's adorable. Like, it's meant for all ages, all creeds, colors, and awarenesses.
You just have to dance, because dancing is the most fun part about our shows. I mean,
yeah. What else are you gonna sit and watch?
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens when people don't dance? Has that ever happened to you guys?
All the time.
People watch. It's fine.
It's not your fault. I just mean, like, how do you deal with that when you're playing dance music and the crowd isn't? Because we've all been to that show where we're just like ready to go, and then no one picks up.
Usually, what happens is Ryland, like after a really hype song, and if people still aren't moving, Ryland will either yell, "Get up." Or you've done that before.
I mean, like, I've
come on, come up front, and then once you coax them and people realize it's okay, and as long as some people start dancing, usually people will start joining in.
I just stare at people until they get uncomfortable enough to come closer. Yeah, I'm just like, I'll just look at them like, dance.
Please dance.
Dance.
So when you are performing live, and I'm really cueing a story here that I read in a article/interview you did with the Sentinel. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened?
Well, there was the one where your friend broke his leg on like the first two songs.
He did not break his leg.
Well,
he dislocated his kneecap.
Let's not. It was out of place.
The paramedics were there for like 15 minutes. Let's not.
He was fine. He was actually sad because the paramedics didn't pop his knee back in for like 45 minutes.
I know, right? So he was just sort of sitting there like, oh.
And this happened from Raucously Dancing?
Yes, it was at the Schoolhouse of Rock, which is a pretty crowded venue.
We were
playing one of our songs off our first album, Legume, and everyone was jumping. And
mosh at your own risk.
Yep, moshing.
Everyone started looking in this one corner, and then everyone kind of stopped.
Yeah, my friend Abe's kneecap right out of its socket.
Shouts out to Abe, our biggest fan.
We love you, Abe.
We love you, Abe.
You're a great guy.
Have you guys toured at all yet?
Once. It was one place, actually. It was Cottonwood, Arizona, way up north.
That's how we wrote the song.
On the 5th, there's a band from Cottonwood?
Yes, there is. A good friend of us.
Silent Valley, actually. We actually got when we were in Cottonwood, we got to stay at his house. Sean Williams, a fantastic human being, great folk artist, has his own band, and actually that Cottonwood gig, the last song we did, 80s Mike, is actually inspiration from that Cottonwood gig. There was a guy who went by the name 80s Mike, and he was
a character.
He was such a character. We had to put him into a song. Yeah. So that's the inspiration for that one. That's all I could say.
Oh my God, does 80s Mike know that he has a song?
I don't know.
Until we go back
to
the State Bar and look him in the eyes and say it to him. I don't think he knows.
Man, we gotta tell him.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't live in like LA. Yeah. He lives in Cottonwood, so.
I don't, man. He appeared as quickly as he vanished.
Exactly, man.
He was there, threw off his jacket, put it back up, kicked his leg out a little bit, and then it was gone. It was crazy.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Honestly.
He's a cool guy.
So, do you guys plan to tour after the new album comes
Absolutely.
out?
Yeah.
100%.
If we have time, I will definitely be down to do that. We haven't really planned anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
They get breaks. They get summer breaks.
Are you guys going to university?
Or yes. Going to the University of Arizona, the Fred Fox School of Music.
Excellent. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I have deep roots there.
Cool. Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so let me know. I'll pull some strings. Just kidding.
You should.
Anything else we need to cover or like push or pitch before we head back into the music? Anything we may have missed that you need Tucson to know?
I mean, please come down July 5th, Solar Culture, for just a fantastic night of music. We got Silent Valley from Cottonwood, Tongs, local legends, Tongs. They're so much fun, so funky, so groovy. And then us. Just a full night of great music. Please come to that.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes. Yeah. Also, please, please, please go listen to the album or buy it, whichever way you want to do it.
Where do people do that?
On any platform.
All digital platforms.
All digital platforms you can think of. If you have Spotify and no money, then you can listen to it on Spotify. If you want to give us some money, you can go on Bandcamp.
Or you could you can listen to the full thing on Bandcamp as well.
Once.
You sure can.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Let's do 3 songs. We can squeeze it in.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
3 songs. Top speed. Go
Top
for it.
speed.
Just kidding.
Let's do intro, deep dish, dumpster drum.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm down with that.
Okay.
You got sound?
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drop it down.
lost your head.
Noise. All right. Hold on 1 second.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
You got this.
All right.
All right. All right, let's do this. Thank you for listening. We have been Yum. Let's do this. Thank you so much. We have been Yum.
91.3 KX.